Hey there, and welcome to today's webinar. It's Sanae Floyd here, and today we're going to be talking about expert positioning for profit. So this webinar is entitled 5 Steps to Establish Yourself as the Go-To Authority in Your Niche and Start Monetizing Your Expertise today. So no matter where you're at on your journey or where your income goals are set, you are absolutely in the right place if you need more clients flowing into your business and you want to know exactly how to achieve your income goals, whether that's 5K per month, 15K per month, or even 50K per month. It doesn't matter. These principles are the same. The principles to achieve any of your income goals really boil down to the principles I'll be sharing with you today. Your ability to rise above the noise, the ability to establish yourself as a go-to expert in your field, even if right now you don't know what you're an expert in, or there's some resistance to the idea of specializing or even calling yourself an expert, and perhaps you can't imagine hitting 5-figure months in your business. Well, I want you to know at the outset that if you pay attention to everything that I'll be teaching and talking to you about today, the more you'll realize actually it's really doable. So I'm really excited to share this with you. This has been a game changer for me in my business and for those people that I've worked with over the years. So let me dive straight in and talk about who this is for. So this webinar is for coaches and consultants who want to leverage their knowledge, their experience, and their skills to help other people transform their lives while growing a sustainable, profitable, and fulfilling business. So if you use your knowledge to create unique breakthroughs for your clients, you're in the right place. This is for you. So in the next hour or so, I'm going to talk to you about how to establish your authority and credibility and stand out as the go-to expert, even if right now you've not had a lot of clients yet and you don't have much social proof. You don't need that right now if you don't have it. It's great to have, but if you don't have it, needn't stop you from really stepping out and establishing authority and credibility. So we're going to talk about how to do that today. I'm also going to be sharing with you how to have perfect for you clients reaching out, hungry to work with you. So you don't have to do stuff that you hate, like cold, icky outreach or spamming people's inboxes or paying through the nose to hire a marketing agency. This is about attraction, having people reaching out to you, seeing your value. We're also going to be talking about how to own your genius and really stand in your power without feeling like an imposter and playing small due to the fear of being called out as a fraud, which I know is quite a common challenge. I'm going to be talking to you about how to have showing up feel effortless, fun, and energizing. Even if you're an introvert like me and you're terrified of doing video and live streaming, I want to dissipate all of that fear and have you showing up with real confidence and being that influential voice in your field. I'm going to be talking about how you can confidently command premium prices for your coaching packages and break free from the money for time model to earning as much as 3K, 5K, 7K per client. Even if those seem like ridiculous numbers to you right now, by the end of this hour, you're going to see exactly how it's doable for you. And I'm going to be showing you how to get more yeses on your sales calls instead of the soul crushing, I can't afford it and I'll think about it, and then never hearing from them again. And to finally feel like you belong, that you're running a serious business and not just a hobby, without, of course, losing your sense of humor, your sense of fun, your authenticity, or your peace of mind. You know, I am all about building a business from a place of fun, so it just feels good to you. So we're going to be talking a lot about that throughout this hour, and we're going to be talking about how to do all of this without fancy tech, paying expensive marketing agencies, launching and promoting new offers every month, or do any of the cold sales tactics that make you feel icky and awful, like, you know, spamming DMs of strangers and that kind of thing. So here's my promise to you. for being here. You are going to get a step-by-step strategy to establish yourself as the go-to authority in your niche and monetize your expertise. So you can start using all of that knowledge, all of your gifts and skills to really help more people while having more fun growing your highly profitable business. So before we dive in to any of that, I want to know if any of this resonates with you. Again, just to reinforce that you are absolutely in the right place. So are you stuck figuring out your message and what sets you apart? So your message, your copy and your offers feel vague and wishy-washy, and as a result, wishy-washy, not wishy-washing, and as a result, you're not attracting enough clients, and perhaps as a result, again, your confidence is backsliding. Do you have some fears around visibility? I know how common that is, but I also know that showing up on social media may feel like hard work. You know, someone recently referred to their marketing efforts as relentless. Relentless. I mean, that is tough. So you know you want to be more visible, but maybe you struggle with the fear of judgment, rejection, and disapproval. Do you secretly know you're worth more than you're charging, but you're afraid to raise your rates because you worry that people just won't pay? And do you struggle with consistency? Again, another major challenge. You have bursts of massive action and then periods of feeling overwhelmed and stuck. You know you're self-sabotaging, yet you don't know how to stop it. You feel helpless to stop it. And the one thing you are consistent in is how much you beat yourself up for being inconsistent. Does that sound familiar? And do you feel out of alignment with your business? Something just feels off. And in spite of the business courses and coaches that you've invested in to help you, you just continually struggle to implement those strategies or complete the courses you've learned. Some of my clients were sitting on unfinished websites for years due to this feeling of being out of alignment and not really having that clarity to be able to articulate their value and their message. Do you hear yourself saying, I just need to work harder, then I'll be successful? And yet, no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you sacrifice, no matter how much time you put in, nothing really changes. So you feel like you're marching on the spot in your business. And do you struggle to stay high vibe? You do your mindset work, you put your best foot forward, and yet beneath the surface, you're churning, feeling stressed and losing sleep over your business. And perhaps deep down, do you secretly believe that you're capable of so much more, but you're terrified you'll never achieve it? Okay, so if any of that resonates with you, today I want to talk to you about what is really going on, because everything I've just described, as painful as all of that is, and as uncomfortable and frustrating and overwhelming as all of that is, they're actually all just symptoms. They're not the real problem. And the real problem I've found over the years of being an entrepreneur and spinning my wheels at times and achieving success in other times, what I've discovered is that there are really 5 core shifts. These are fundamental shifts that you must make in your business in order to overcome these symptoms. So let me talk about what these shifts are. Now, before I go into the shifts, because that's going to be the full body of this webinar, I want to just talk about once you make them, once you implement, once you make these shifts. Some of them are internal shifts, but once you make them, it's a game changer. This is when you start to feel really unstoppable. You're reconnected to that passion you felt when you first started your business. Remember that time? You were like a snowplow. Nobody could affect you. You were undeterred. You were on fire. And somewhere along the lines, perhaps you've lost that. So we want to help you get back into alignment so that your creativity simply flows. And as I said, you feel that connection and that unstoppability. When you make these shifts, you feel clear and aligned with your niche, your target audience, and your message is laser focused. You finally feel like the credible expert and your confidence exudes in everything you do. You're effortlessly working a marketing strategy that positions your authority, creating incredible value while enrolling those perfect for you clients. And you're closing sales conversions. sales conversations, selling your coaching programs for 3K, 5K, even 7K plus per client. And as you and your confidence rapidly grows, your income grows with you. So as your confidence grows, as you reconnect your sense of purpose and you start to show up in that new way, then your results will start to mirror that. You also realize there's no ceiling on your income. You connect to that limitlessness that is your true nature. And you're more joyful. You feel more relaxed. You're more present. You're having more fun with your family and doing what you love to do instead of being stressed and preoccupied with worry thoughts the whole time. And you finally feel like you're doing exactly what you're here to do, fulfilling your purpose, making a difference, standing in your power as a professional business owner. And whenever I speak to my clients, one thing they always tell me, when I connect to what makes success meaningful for you? Like, what is it that achieving all of this would really do for you? And the most common answer is because I would feel fulfilled. It would be my sense of fulfillment. And this is what I feel really passionate about helping you to connect to so you can get that sense of fulfillment. And so this is what I want for you. So before we continue, let me just give a quick intro to me and share a bit about how I've come to be here today. So my name is Sanae Floyd. I'm a UK-based business coach, sales mentor, and published author. I've been coaching and mentoring in sales for over 25 years now. I'm a copywriter, a marketeer, and I have an academic background in psychology. So I love human behavior and studying human behavior. Plus, I'm a certified personal performance coach with training in NLP and various energy modalities, including EFT, emotional freedom technique, and Psych K, which is a very, very powerful modality for shifting subconscious limiting beliefs. So one of the things I absolutely believe, this is me doing some energy work in a on-stage demonstration there, you can have the best strategies, you can work tirelessly and still feel like you're getting nowhere if you're not connected to what lights you up. And I believe your business thrives when it's built from passion. And I'm here to help you reconnect with yours, because when you do, it changes everything. The clients you've been chasing come to you, the hustle eases, and success flows with more joy and freedom. And I learnt this myself years ago. So I'm going to give you a bit of my story. So we're just going to rewind to 2013. This was before I started my business. And on paper, my life seemed perfect. I had a successful sales career, good income, a beautiful home, a family, everything that was supposed to make me happy. But the truth was, inside, I just felt empty. I had no passion for the corporate routine, but I didn't know what else to do. So I just ignored those feelings. Probably I was drinking too much. I know I was overweight, and yeah, just sort of buried those feelings. Then bless life. Life will always throw a curve when you are off track. And life threw me a triple smackdown. Basically, my marriage ended. I had to move out of our marital home, which was devastating because the property I moved into was literally uninhabitable. So I was starting again. My career bombed. So with the months and months and months of stress with my marriage breakdown, I just had no focus in my career. And as a manager at the time, it wasn't sustainable. So my career bombed. I started failing, making silly mistakes. And I had a nervous breakdown that meant I checked out of life for 6 months. I was on antidepressants. I'd been diagnosed with PTSD. And this nervous breakdown made me question everything. And I didn't know it at the time, but this was the wake-up call I needed to find my real path. And you've probably had similar experiences where something devastating at the time happens, but looking back, it was the turning point. It was the breakthrough you needed, or the awakening that just set you on your new path. So it is very, very powerful when we shift perspective in this way. So long story short, during that period of being off sick from work, I worked with a life coach. He was my angel, ultimately, Andy, and he helped me to realize that I was so disconnected to who I was. I didn't know what my purpose was, and that was why I was feeling so lost and so miserable for so long. So it became my mission to change, to rediscover who I am, to live with passion as my guide. And sometimes I talk about, I changed to make purpose my compass, and that led me to start my coaching business. So yeah, I realized at that time very quickly that I had so much more to give, so much untapped potential than I even dared to imagine. I wanted to use my voice. I wanted to share what I'd learned and make a real difference in people's lives. And I also wanted to be a stronger role model for my children, to show them that they can achieve anything they set their hearts on. So I took a massive leap of faith. I call this the roller coaster. I quit my job in sales and I launched my online coaching business in March 2015. And like you, I'm sure I started my business to do what I love. I was so excited and I felt like I could take on the world. But very quickly, I realized something else. I had the qualifications, but I felt like I lacked substance. I didn't know what my niche was. I didn't know who I was meant to serve or how to communicate the value of my services without sounding cliche and, all the standard stuff you see in the coaching world. And I just felt frozen with overwhelm. And as the weeks turned into months of zero clients, fear kicked in big time. I was thinking, what the hell have I done quitting my job? I had no roadmap for success. No one in my family had ever been an entrepreneur or started their own business. But something deep inside me kept going. And I just I knew this was my purpose. I knew that this passion I felt couldn't have been a mistake. This was real. And that was really what gave me the strength to keep going. So I spent more months searching for what it was that I could powerfully offer that could provide the transformation to my tribe. And, I flip-flopped. I flip-flopped a lot. It was a really painful time. And if you've been in that place before, you will know what I'm talking about. That lack of clarity, that lack of alignment feels agonizing. But in September 2015, I had my breakthrough. I realized that in closing the door on my past, which I really emphatically did when I started my business, I said, I don't want anything to do with that past version of me, because that past version of me was just sleepwalking through life. And I don't want to ever be like that again. So I literally shut the door on my past. But in doing so, I inadvertently shut away my gifts. So this is my breakthrough. I dug into my story and I started to see and join the dots on how my biggest struggles had become my greatest strengths. All those years of being so disconnected from who I was and what I stood for had been preparing me for the way I could best help others. And suddenly my message was clear. My gifts, my skills, all my experience, from my natural gifts to my learned skills in corporate, they all came together. And for the first time, I understood my why. I understood what it was I'm here to do. And it felt like a switch had flipped and content flowed effortlessly. I was inspired every single day. And I knew this is what I'd been searching for. I was now clear on my value. I was in alignment with my message. The fears I had, literally crippling fears of being visible, practically disappeared overnight. I stepped back into that being unstoppable. Enthusiasm took over and I just knew I wanted to get my message out there. So I started posting in a few Facebook groups. I set up my business page, and within a few weeks, I sold my first £1,800 coaching package. It blew my mind. The energy was palpable, and I knew I'd found my sweet spot, which I now call the alignment zone. So making the shifts, things started to move really quickly after that. I was operating on inspiration, creativity was flowing through me. It's almost like I was channeling all of this creativity and the clients were reaching out to me. And I share this post because my coach at the time told me off for not screaming at the rooftops when I hit my first 5-figure week in January 16. So that first 4-figure sale in September 16 15 turned into 5-figure months, and by January 16, I'd had my first 5-figure week. So I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to lie to you now and say from evermore it was plain sailing, because it hasn't been. But what I have learned from my years now as an entrepreneur, I'm coming up for my 10th year in business, building a business from the ground up, from my dining table as a single mum, and many a time in between thinking, I'm going to have to throw in the towel. The shifts and principles that I'm sharing with you today are tried and true. So I have ridden that roller coaster. And since that time, and what I've learned and what I'm sharing with you today, I have been able to support myself and my kids independently. I've traveled the world. I've bought my dream home by the sea and moved close to my mum. And I'm balancing my business and creative passions by doing actor training, which is something I've always wanted to do. And now I'm studying actor training in Brighton. So just being able to balance that is something that I never believed I could make the commitment to do. I didn't believe I had the discipline. But when you build your business from this place, which I'm going to share with you again today, it's a game changer. So aligning with my passion helped me to find my voice, my authentic voice. And in connecting to my purpose, I found the confidence to share my message and get really visible. And opportunities to speak on podcasts, stages started to open up for me. And I've been able to help so many other women through my work. And it has been truly fulfilling. So whenever I felt like giving up, I always came back to my mission to live in alignment with my passion and express myself authentically. And this kept me grounded, especially when the online world felt overwhelming. You know how it is, so trusting my truth kept me from getting swept up by the endless stream of, dazzling guru or bro marketing that promising the earth. And, they can really pull you in but they don't give you the real substance that you need. They'll tell you that you need clarity, but they won't tell you how to get it or how to position yourself. So as a result, this allowed me to make bold decisions, to show up with integrity and attract the right people who resonated with my message. So over the past 10 years, I've learned that entrepreneurship is an expansive and rewarding journey. It's all about stepping into your potential, aligning passion with purpose, and creating a life that's deeply fulfilling. Each step has shown me that when you lead with authenticity, the rewards are limitless. And if you're here, I know you feel that too. And you want to feel deeply connected to your purpose, knowing that your business allows you to live authentically, expressing your passion through your work. You want a business that supports you, where you make money doing what you love in a way that feels fun and easy. You want to show up with integrity, fully clear on who you are and the transformation you offer your clients. You want the kind of freedom, the money and control over your life that truly changes everything. And on top of all that, you want to create a meaningful impact in the lives of others, helping your clients experience life-changing breakthroughs and growth. Which is why I'm super excited that you are here and that I get to share this information with you. So let's come to now the 5 shifts, because these 5 shifts are what you must make in order to position yourself as the credible go-to authority in your field and seriously monetize your expertise. So you can create life on your terms and have more of the fun, the freedom, and the fulfillment that you deserve. And I'm going to walk you through all of them in this session. Okay, so the first shift that I want to talk to you about is taking radical responsibility. Now, taking radical responsibility means exercising your personal power every single day. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, I know this, thanks. I just want to get to the meaty stuff, the marketing stuff. But this is literally where standing out as an authority, attracting clients, calling in the cash really begins. It is an inner game. And the fact is very few people actually do this or know what radical responsibility really means. And many coaching entrepreneurs find themselves frequently in fear states, anxiety, losing sleep, worrying, or self-sabotaging, procrastinating, holding themselves back and not doing the things that they know they need to do, which creates the consistent activity levels that they need. And as a result, they're trapped in the feast or famine cycle and just yo-yoing in and out of states of high and then crushing lows. We know this, we've all been there. So it's about taking radical responsibility so you are able to manage your state way, way more powerfully. So this is really about the essential point here when it comes to taking radical responsibility is about deciding who you need to become to create the results you desire, and then embodying those qualities, embodying the qualities, the attitudes, and the attributes of the version of you that has already got the results you want. So it's making decisions from that place, becoming the person you want to become, and then making wise and discerning decisions from that place. So it's, when something happens, let's look at this. When something happens, we get a result. And if it's an unwanted result, a negative result, we either react or respond. Reacting is default, it's programming, it's the subconscious. Whereas responding is where you exercise your personal power. You always have a beat. They call it the gap between the stimuli and your response. And that's where you get to choose. It's a moment right before the subconscious program kicks in, a moment to choose. So radical responsibility is the mindset of taking complete ownership of one's actions, thoughts, and emotions without blaming external circumstances or other people for any shortcomings or failures. So let's look at how this works in relation to your business success. So you've got to understand that your results in your business are an output. Success is not some random event. So if your results are the output, then how you think, how you feel, and how you act, your behaviors are the inputs. So too often when you don't get the results you want, you spiral. Perhaps you can relate to the negative mind chatter that kicks in when things aren't working. You might start to hear, oh my God, this is so hard. What's wrong with me? That was my favorite. What's wrong with me? Why can't I get this right? I'm making a fool of myself. I'm not good enough. What if I fail? When you are in that state, looking at everybody else, falling into spirals of imposter syndrome or comparisonitis, looking at what everyone else is doing and then comparing yourself against them, if they seem worlds ahead of you, those types of thoughts, again, are going to affect how you feel. You start to feel frustrated. You start to feel overwhelmed, confused, ashamed, maybe even guilty. I've met so many coaches who struggle with guilt because they're not financially contributing to the household bill. So they feel like, their coaching business is just a hobby. So these types of feelings are so unresourceful and disempowering. So when you feel like that, what then happens? Well, it affects your behavior, how you show up. When you're not in a resourceful state, when you're caught up in fear and overwhelm, you then react. Maybe that reaction is to kick on and like double down and work really hard. And that's another form of sabotage. Or maybe your reaction is then to just curl up in a ball, hide under the duvet, sink into a tub of ice cream or Netflix or social media doom scrolling, whatever it is. But you can see how that behavior then closes the loop and perpetuates the same result. And so back around the loop you go. You cannot create new results when you're stuck in this cycle. So for the sake of your business, you have to take radical responsibility for everything that happens and how you respond to your results and the events of your life and business. So knowing that the results are the output, everything else, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are the inputs. So look at where all your power is. You get to break the cycle by changing your response to the result you are looking at. Because when you do, this is where all your power is. This is the source of your courage, your resilience, your ability to take chances on yourself, your ability to take persistent and consistent action, to hold steady, to have peace of mind and faith and joy no matter what. And this is when you are laser focused and undeterred on your goals and what it is you want to achieve. So this really is radical responsibility. So where all your power is, you get to change. So my first suggestion, if you're thinking, well, how do I, I'm looking at these results, I'm looking at my bank balance, I'm looking at my debt, I'm looking at the lack of discovery calls in my calendar, I'm looking at the lack of engagement on my posts and my videos. When you're looking at that, how can I change my thoughts around it? It's so compelling. Well, the first thing I would suggest, just very quickly here, is to think, I understand that the results that I'm looking at are simply a reflection of how I used to think. And my power is in the now to change my thoughts and therefore change my results for tomorrow. Your results that you're looking at, it's old news. It's yesterday's news. It's just a reflection, an echo of how you used to think. Your power is in the now. Okay, so that's really, really important. I'm really emphatic about that because it really changes everything. So I want to share with you to really embrace this idea of your business as a mirror. Results don't lie. What you attract is a mirror reflection of who you are being. So there's no escaping the law of cause and effect. If you doubt your ability to serve, if you're fearful of being rejected or judged, then no amount of fancy marketing will override those fears and limiting beliefs. So this really is an essential first shift to embrace when it comes to growing your business with integrity. You don't need to force outcomes. You simply need to not give your power away to circumstances that may once upon a time have sent you spiraling. And it's about focusing your energy and attention on what you do want to create. They say, don't they, faith and fear. Faith and fear, they're both believing in the unseen. They're both believing in a not yet manifested future event. But you have a choice which one you want to choose. Are you going to focus on the fear, which is, worrying, which is future imagining of the worst case scenario, or are you going to practice faith, which is future pacing on the best case scenario, what it is you really want? And again, this is where your power is. So I hope you're feeling, you're picking up what I'm putting down here and really understanding the importance of taking radical responsibility. So the bottom line here is that everything I'm about to show you is built on this foundation of radical responsibility. It's designed to get you and your clients the best results possible because you are serving at your highest and best level while growing your business and without compromising your joy, your freedom, and having fun. So if you've been taught a lot of marketing and sales strategies and tactics that feel icky or awkward, you just don't like the way they make you feel, then what I'm about to share with you will blow your mind because it's completely designed to get your clients better results while it makes you more money at the same time. So if all of that makes sense, then let's dive into the second shift. So this second shift is called Name It and Claim It. So this is about specializing. What is it that you specialize in? So if you want to get recognized and rewarded financially as the go-to expert, then you have to specialize. And I know so many coaches struggle with this, and I get it. So maybe you have some resistance to it because you fear that you'll miss out on opportunities and you'll miss out on potential clients if you are too specific. Or perhaps you're struggling to know what your niche is, and I'm going to talk to you about this in a second. And that not knowing what your niche is keeping you stuck, and it's really frustrating. Or maybe you're clear on your niche, but you feel like just something is missing and you're not completely in alignment, and that's holding you back. Well, I get it, and we're going to cover that today. And what I first want to do is bust a prolific myth that I see everywhere in relation to niching in the coaching industry. And this is the number one mistake that is perpetuated, and that is believing that you need to choose a profitable niche. Oh my goodness, you can Google it. You can Google what is a profitable niche, and you will find so much stuff on things like, the top 10 most profitable coaching niches of the year, or how to choose a profitable niche. You probably have had conversations with people who have cast their judgment on what they perceive is a profitable niche. And in fact, only last week I spoke to two different coaches. One said, and I kid you not, one said, I can't market to small business owners and entrepreneurs because they're always broke. They don't have any money. I need to focus on corporate. And in the very same week, a second coach said to me, I don't want to focus on corporate. They don't get coaching. So, they don't pay thousands to work with a coach. Entrepreneurs get it. So I'm thinking of focusing on them. Who's right? Who's right? Both. Neither. There is no wrong or right. This is the reason, falling for this mistake is the reason why too many coaches stay stuck, they struggle to get clients, and they wind up throwing in the towel on their dream coaching business. And I want to say, the fact is, you are the greatest client getting asset in your business. So you don't have to shoehorn yourself into some so-called perceived profitable niche. What I want to encourage you to do above all else is be guided and find alignment with your passion. As Tony Robbins quite rightly and beautifully says, passion is the genesis of genius. It's your passion that got you started in your business in the first place. Passion is the energy that moves mountains. When you're aligned with your passion, you feel unstoppable. You feel excited. You're leaping out of bed every morning, raring to get going. You're more creative. You're more resourceful. You're receptive to inspired ideas and those divine downloads. When you're out of alignment, you have no access to those faculties because you're in a stress state, and fear will block you from that creativity and that resourcefulness. When you're aligned with your passion, on the other hand, you're in flow. You're literally vibrating at the highest frequency. Love is the highest frequency. So when you're vibrating at the frequency of being aligned with your passion, you attract the situations, the circumstances, the events, the people, the connections, the support that you need to achieve your goals. You're more influential too. People take notice when you're talking about what you love to talk about, teaching what you love to teach, operating from your zone of genius. So as a result, you naturally rise above the noise as the go-to expert. And when you're aligned with your passion, fear dissipates. This is absolutely what happened to me. And I see it time and time again with my clients. They're like, oh my God, the fear's gone. I just want to show up and share my message. The clarity is palpable. And it's because you're enthusiastically showing up, and it's easier to be consistent. And as you're consistent, you build that essential know, like, and trust with your audience, and you start to get known for what you do. And I want to share a win-win here, because the truth is people love to pay premium to work with specialists. By positioning yourself as an authority in your field, you can command premium prices for your expertise. So I want to share a quick case study with you. This is beautiful Nico Anna. Now, Nico is an EFT practitioner. She's a yoga teacher, she's a life coach and a mentor, and she has so much to offer people. And when she came to me, she'd been struggling for some time. She said, I had no clients in over a year, no engagement on social media, and no inspiration to share content. So she felt completely stuck. She wasn't making progress, and it was really frustrating for her. But when we looked at what it was that she was most passionate about, when we dove deep into her story and pulled together her gifts, her skills, her experience, we were able to distill everything she brought to the table into a clear, succinct message that resonated with her ideal audience. Nico positioned herself as a specialist in reparenting the inner child for transformational healing following narcissistic abuse. She had clarity in exactly who she wanted to help, and therefore she was able to show up really powerfully and clearly. So for the first time in her business, Nico felt aligned with what she's truly meant to do, and that was a major breakthrough for her. She had clarity in her message, she crafted her new packages and became visible more boldly than ever before. And in a few short months, she was moving mountains in her business. She developed a thriving Facebook community, she was showing up consistently, she had a brand new beautiful website and a new group DIY coaching program to beat. So she says, now that's not bad for a few weeks of work. I feel so clear about my message now that I wake up with excitement about sharing. I feel fulfillment from knowing I am helping so many people transform their lives because I am unafraid to be visible now. She's now commanding premium prices and has had her first five-figure month, which is outstanding. So the reality here is that specialism sells. Without making this shift, without naming it and claiming it, you're constantly chopping and changing your messaging, your content and your offers, and really getting nowhere fast. It's hard for people to see the value in what you do. So you'll always be trading time for money, chasing clients, and actually you risk losing credibility. And paradoxically, when you do specialize, you attract more clients, not less. It starts with that internal shift of aligning with your passion, and then the clarity, the confidence, and the credibility completely transforms how you show up and therefore the results you create. So you may be thinking, that's great. I need to focus on my passion, but just because it's my passion doesn't mean people will necessarily buy from me or resonate with it. So how do I package it and position it so people actually want to work with me? This is where I want to introduce you to shift number 3. So this is what I call using the secret weapon. The secret weapon to monetizing your expertise is in your signature solution. So your signature solution is the most powerful pathway to establish your authority, command premium prices, connect with your audience, and provide the most value for your clients and achieve your exciting income goals. And it does all of those things without you having to slog your guts out relentlessly. So before I go into the details of how to craft your signature solution and what exactly it is and how it works, let's just talk about the old way, what you may be doing now. Now, none of what I'm about to share with you is wrong as such, but if it's not working, it can feel brutal. Okay, so maybe right now you're relentlessly posting on social media. You know, you're putting yourself out there, but you don't have any strategy. So it feels like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall, you know, as Jeff Walker calls it, it's hope marketing. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you're hemmed in by too much strategy, which means you're unable to really express yourself. Remember, I talked earlier about name it and claim it and specialize. You being the greatest client getting asset in your business, by being passionate about what you do. Forget choosing a profitable niche. You are the profitable one. So if you're unable to express yourself due to algorithmic rules and regulations and keywords and when's the best time to post, then that's equally going to hurt your ability to attract clients. Maybe you're engaging in cold outreach, or you've heard that this is a way to get clients, spamming people's inboxes. Well, I don't know about you, but if people spam me with all these fake friendly messages and I can see right through it, it actually hurts their reputation in my eyes. Maybe you're constantly launching new offers, which ultimately confuses your audience. What is her value proposition? What is it that she actually offers? By launching lots of different small offers frequently, that gets murky in your audience's mind. Maybe the thought of writing a best-selling book to blow up your business has been on your mind. Or maybe you've written a best-selling book. Has it blown up your business? I'm guessing not if you're here. Maybe you're thinking, I'll become an expert by starting a podcast. Again, nothing wrong with that. Podcasts are amazing, but you need this foundation first. Maybe you've heard you need to grow celebrity status. Buy my program to help you create viral videos. Inviting strangers for a virtual coffee. Let's connect, let's get together and get to know one another. And then I'll try and sell you into my services. Maybe that's a strategy that you've heard or seen that will help you grow your business. Maybe you're thinking, or you do attend networking events. There's also investing thousands in marketing agencies, ads, and SEO. Maybe you've done that. And I'm guessing if you have, you're here because you haven't seen a return on investment. And there's also those high ticket webinar programs that expect you to be a funnel building tech and ads whiz in 8 weeks. I've invested in those. I fell for them, and they are super overwhelming and really can just bring you to your knees when you're unable to implement because you don't have this foundation in place. You don't have your secret weapon in your hand. And maybe you're still selling your coaching by the hour, which means you're never earning quite enough to cover all your monthly bills and pay for all the things you want to do. So you're always chasing the next client and the next. And maybe as a result of doing all of that, you'll get some clients. But ultimately, this old way constantly feels relentless, and it locks you into patterns of hustle, working harder than ever. Charging by the hour also undermines your ability to articulate the true value of what you do. So it actually becomes a hard sell. And as I said, if it's not working, you can get easily overwhelmed and lose focus. It feels brutal out there, and you're left feeling mentally and emotionally drained and disillusioned, running that hamster wheel and getting nowhere fast. And all of those strategies, they take forever, and they're soul destroying, exhausting, and hurt your credibility. So the new way that I want to share with you today is not about relentless posting. It does not require tech wizardry, celebrity status, dancing TikToks. It does not need you throwing money at ads, engaging in icky, sleazy sales tactics, or 12 months of patient implementation, and maybe you'll get a client. The new way is about client attraction through your expert positioning signature solution. So the new way really has 4 simple steps. The first one, as we've talked about, is name and claim your specialism. Remember, there's no such thing as a profitable niche that is outside of you. You are the most profitable client-getting asset in your business when you are in alignment with your passion. So that's step 1. We've talked about that. Name and claim your specialism. Step 2, I'm going to go into now, your signature solution. Step 3 is go out there and engage in authority marketing strategy. And as a result of that, then start watching the leads come in and start signing your new perfect for you clients. So your signature solution is the key to monetizing your expertise and ensuring that everything about your business is aligned, both internally, so meaning aligned with you, your gifts, your skills, your passion, and your purpose, and externally with your messaging, your marketing, and your media channels. When you get this right, you feel super confident. You're establishing authority and credibility, and you're able to rise above the noise online. And your content literally speaks to what is going on in your ideal client's mind. And this is when the chasing stops and the attracting starts. Your people start reaching out to you. So when my clients make this shift, the hot leads start flowing in. So I want to share some of these screenshots that show you what's possible and how when my clients made this shift, their content started attracting clients because they were operating in this new way. They had their signature solution nailed. So you can see 2 inquiries within 4 hours of this first post sharing the signature program. 2 hot new prospects. What a fabulous end to my week in marketing and my week and my first fortnight of marketing. It's just 2 weeks with this new way. 2 calls booked off the back of this morning's post. Ding dong, another 2 discovery calls booked in, 1 this week and 1 start of next. Sanae, put your advice into action. I've so far signed 7 new clients from that one video. And this was during COVID, during lockdown. Absolutely magical. It's me checking in with a client. How many inquiries in the past few weeks? 3 this week. 3rd discovery call booked in tomorrow. Another client, I'm inundated with discovery calls. I have to figure my calendar and complete my brochure so I can quickly ship these out after the calls. What a good problem to have. So your signature solution, I want you to first really own that you are a specialist in what you do, that you are an expert, that you took the long, arduous route to get to where you are. You navigated the journey. You've learned all the lessons, harnessing and honing your natural gifts and talents along the way, and pulling together years of hard-won wisdom. You've invested time, energy, resources on learning, studying, seeking answers, and applying what you know in your own life. And you've made a ton of mistakes along the way, right? Repeated a few until you got the lesson and you've gained a level of mastery. And so now with your signature solution, you get to crush the timeline for your clients, helping them get results while helping them sidestep the heartache, avoid the blind alleys and dead ends. And with you, your clients get to solve their number one problem and get the results they want so they can experience the freedom, the love, the health, the financial results, the joy, the peace of mind, the confidence, the career, the business, whatever field you're in, whatever your niche of their dreams. So let's talk about your signature solution. So your signature solution is a clear sequential pathway that helps your clients get from where they are now, you can see at the bottom there on the left, where they are now, along a series of steps or milestones to where they want to be. So where success is for them. So along each milestone, your clients are getting breakthroughs, making progress, celebrating wins at every step of the way. And there's enormous value at every stage, and you're keeping your clients accountable for the results and tracking their progress right up until they get the results they want, right up until they're celebrating their successes and they're where they want to be. So these milestones represented here by these 5 arrows are the pillars. Now, I'm not saying you have 5 steps, you might have 7, you might have 3. 5 to 7 is usually optimum. But these milestones form the backbone of your expert positioning content marketing strategy as well. So what you teach and talk about always points back to these core pillars. So I want to talk you through the 6 P's of expert positioning that not only will inform your signature solution and help you to craft it, but it is also the basis of your clear and succinct message. So these pillars are also content pillars for your marketing, okay? So the first P is positioning. So your signature solution is an embodiment of your credibility story. This is how you position yourself as the go-to expert. People don't really care about your qualifications. You don't even need to be qualified to start a coaching business, but you do need to be credible in order to attract clients. So having a signature solution demonstrates your knowledge and your expertise. So I want to ask you, what is your credibility story? What got you to where you are today? So that's positioning. The second P is person. This is your ideal client. Now, without specificity in who you're serving, your message, your offer, your ability to communicate to them and their deeper motivations for buying is going to miss the mark. But when you have clarity and specificity, you can then create powerful marketing and you can create offers that are on point and will resonate with your audience. So this is what sets you apart as someone who knows exactly what you're talking about and has the solution that your ideal client is seeking. So it's so important, and cannot stress how important it is to get specific on your ideal client. So that's the second step in creating your signature solution. The third step is knowing the problem you solve. This is where I see a lot of marketing miss the mark. What is the actual problem you solve? So when you can talk about the symptoms and then you can teach the root cause of those symptoms, you're able to explain to your audience why they're struggling and why nothing else they've tried has worked. So you're educating them. Remember, as an expert you're educating them on what is really beneath the symptoms, what is really going on. And what you're doing in this, and I want you to hear the power of this, when you get this right, what you're actually doing for your audience is you're saying, the reason nothing you've tried so far has worked is not because there's something wrong with you and that you need more help. What you're actually saying to your audience is, no wonder nothing else worked for you, because everything else you've tried didn't deal with the real problem. Can you see the distinction and how powerful that is? So knowing the problem you solve and how everything else they've tried has failed because it hasn't dealt with the real problem, that's where a lot of your power is with your signature solution. The fourth P is your process. So this is the clear pathway from base camp, so where they start, to the top of Success Mountain, where they're wanting to go. So with your process, your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or your 5, 6, 7 steps, however many steps are in your pathway, this is you saying, I've got the map. I have the fast path. I know the way. Come with me. And this is when people start paying you for the transformation and you're able to stop charging by the hour because you're able to articulate the fact that transformation is a process. It's not confined to an hour a week. It's a process. They'll be getting breakthroughs in between the calls. And the fifth P that will help you to position your expertise, to craft your signature solution and understand your ideal clients much more so you can create more effective marketing is understanding the payoffs that your clients are seeking. What do your people want? There are many reasons why people buy, and none of them are based in logic. Believe it or not, all of our buying decisions are made emotionally. There are emotional reasons. What will this really get me is what we're thinking when we're making our purchasing decisions. So let me give you an example. Think about a leadership coach helping executives improve their leadership skills. Let's take that as an example. So why would an executive leader invest in a coaching package with a leadership coach? Well, you might think, well, of course, this leader wants to improve their leadership skills. They want to be a better leader. But why do they want that? Is it that they want to increase their status? They want to get recognized. They want more money. They want more financial freedom through the pay rise or the career advancement. Excuse me. Maybe they want more love, and if they're improving their leadership skills, which means they're able to delegate more, that gives them more time off to be able to spend with their children or their grandchildren or their spouse. And so maybe it's they are at the stage of burnout as a leader. So what they want is to feel more energized, to sleep better at night, to feel healthier. So by improving their leadership skills, they're going to have the skills to create the balance in their career as a leader. So you start to see, wow, it's not just about being a better leader for all the tangible reasons. It's about the emotional connection, the emotional payoffs. So this is really, really important. Understand what are those emotional motivators that your ideal client is really seeking to fulfill. And then the final P that you must nail down in order to craft your signature solution is your sense of purpose. Why do you do what you do? This is the driving force behind your decisions and your ability to show up and have real skin in the game. Because, you know, business is tough. It can be very, very tough. So when you have a clear sense of your purpose, and you're feeling fulfilled in service every single day, that brings the joy to the forefront. That helps you to show up and ride out the waves when things might feel a little bit tough. So when you have these 6 Ps in place, you feel super confident. It establishes your authority, your credibility, and expertise. Your offer stands out as an irresistible no-brainer solution to your audience. And specialism sells. People love to buy the best, and people will happily pay premium to work with you as a specialist. And when I crafted my signature solution, it significantly simplified my business. I went from creating endless different offers, constantly launching different programs, to having my one signature solution that everything stemmed from. So all of my marketing assets and my content became aligned with my signature solution, and my marketing became even more laser focused. So I want to share with you another case study. I'd love you to meet the beautiful Mira Ramani. Now, Mira is a leadership coach for corporate executives, and she came to me because she was struggling to grow her income. She lacked clarity. She felt like an imposter, and she couldn't imagine how anyone would pay her more than the 1,800 euros that she was already charging. She was feeling overwhelmed and frustrated. So we took a look at what she was doing, and I had her break down all the outcomes that her clients got as a result of working with her and how she helps them achieve these results. We looked at her knowledge, her skills, her experience, and as a result, we were able to craft her 7-step leadership rise signature solution. Having this in place, she instantly felt more credible, excited to share, and this formed the backbone of her marketing strategy. She confidently raised her rates from 1,800 euros to 3,000 euros. Within just 8 weeks, she signed 2 new clients, making 6,000 euros. And after a few more sales at that rate, Mira raised her rates again and started to attract new next level clients, making her first 5-figure month. Now, Mira has really overcome her imposter syndrome and has fully stepped into her power. Since then, she now commands 12,000 euros for her group program. She's had 180K a year and has been awarded a prestigious influencer status on LinkedIn thanks to her high value content. Mira now has a team to support her in her business. She travels extensively and continues to invest in her growth and development. So at this point, I hope you're inspired, and I want to just have a quick recap. So at this point, we know that we must be taking radical responsibility and operating from total integrity. We must name it and claim it and specialize, and we must be using what I call the secret weapon, which is the signature solution. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. So now at this point, we know that we must be taking radical responsibility and operating from total integrity. We must name it and claim it. We must specialize, and we must be using what I call the secret weapon. That is your signature solution. So now let's look at how to convert all of that into happy clients and a profitable business without losing our minds. Now, this next bit is so important because you can have all your ducks in a row and be getting lots of leads and discovery calls and yet not be making money. I've seen it. I've seen coaches and consultants really struggle to convert those inquiries. They kind of mess up at the end, and it's not because those inquiries weren't a great fit, but it was because the coaches made specific mistakes on their sales calls. And I've also seen those who've got all their ducks in a row and not get leads and not get book discovery calls because they're afraid of this part. So they're literally repelling clients. So this is why we have to spend time here at shift number 4, which is you've got to have a robust sales process. Now, I know that a robust sales process feels kind of restrictive and a bit corporate, but just bear with me here because I know how important it is for you to retain your authenticity and keep your own style, and that is really important. However, I also know that some of you may tend to approach your calls in a way where you're winging it. That's an official term, where there's no structure and you kind of allow the conversation to flow. So I want to really drill into this and support you to embrace a robust sales process. Now, I said it in my sort of intro to me that I have been coaching, mentoring, and training in sales for over 25 years now. I have worked with literally thousands of sales professionals in the corporate space. So that's financial services was my field. And then for the last 10 years, working with business owners, coaches, and consultants in the entrepreneurial space. So I want to really sort of drill the importance of having this robust sales process in place. And in order to do that, I want to remind you that you've worked so diligently, you've put heart and soul into getting the inquiries in the first place. So why would you leave this final piece to chance? Do you currently prefer to play it by ear or see how the conversation flows? Because this is where we risk losing the sale. Now, I know that a lot of you feel uncomfortable with the selling part of the whole client getting process, and it's the part where you imagine all of the worst stereotypes of the pushy salesperson. And in fact, I recently did an exercise with a group of coaches, and I asked them to write down all the qualities they imagined in response to the word salesperson. And oh my goodness, it was incredible. Words like greasy, ill-fitting cheap suit, bad breath, sweaty. These were the kind of qualities that the coaches pictured with that word salesperson. So no wonder there's so much resistance to selling. Who wants to be associated with any of those qualities? So, I get it. And other things I hear a lot when it comes to sales is, I'm taking away from somebody. There's not a fair exchange. I'm taking the money and I'm getting all the benefit, or I'm preying on people's vulnerability. I hate feeling pushy. I'm rubbish at selling. I don't like selling it. It takes me away from what I'm really great at. So again, if any of that resonates with you, then this shift is going to really support you. And I understand all of this. I know these images, these qualities, these stereotypes, they don't come out of nowhere. They come from either a terrible experience you've had of being sold to, or you've been ripped off by an unscrupulous salesperson. And there are films out there, Wolf of Wall Street. Even as kids, there's Roald Dahl's Matilda, her father, the dodgy car salesperson. So it's no surprise. It's it's not comfortable trying to sell yourself and your services on a sales call. But I want to take a second to introduce you to a new way of doing sales. And I found that the way that I'm about to share with you actually gets better results, in that the conversation feels amazing for your prospects and is more effective in terms of converting those prospects into happy clients without you feeling inauthentic and out of integrity. And the most successful coaches and consultants that I work with have developed a sales process that allows them to create an amazing connection with their prospect, effortlessly demonstrate their expertise, and convert and ultimately enroll more of those perfect for them clients to work. So the first rule, I've called it here, of an effective sales conversation, it's more of a principle really, is actually to stop trying to sell on your sales call. Now, this is a major mistake, and I might be confusing you completely here, but hear me out. And I think you'll actually be very relieved by what I have to say on this process. But what tends to happen is, without a robust sales process, let's look at that first. Without a robust sales process, a sales call can look pretty much like this. There's a bit of rapport building, maybe a few questions to find out why the prospect booked the call, what's going on for them. So you have a few questions around that. Then you might explain how your coaching works or how your specialist modality works. You might share a bit about, what you do, your story. Maybe you'll go into some client case studies to demonstrate the value of your services. And you might talk about what you'll be working on together, what you'll be focusing on as a result of the things they told you in their answers to your first section. You might then talk about what you'll be working on together, how many sessions you'll be working with them, how long those sessions will be, and then eventually you'll deliver the price, while perhaps stopping breathing in anticipation of the reaction. You might even suddenly discount your rate out of the blue because you lost your nerve halfway through the call, and perhaps even spent much of the call worrying about this end bit. How am I going to tell them how much it is? So if any of that sounds familiar, if you're lucky, you might get the occasional yes, but more often than not, you'll get an "I'll think about it." And as a result, you'll leave the call feeling disheartened, wishing you'd said something else or something more. And over time, that kind of leaves an imprint, doesn't it? It's a bit, it makes you smart a bit. And so you become increasingly more resistant to selling. But worse than that, that prospect goes away without having ever got your help. So the fact is, people here hate to be sold to. So let's dive into a robust sales process. So what is it? Well, a robust sales process is a consistent, structured framework that reinforces your expertise throughout the whole process. It establishes greater trust, incredible trust and connection, and it literally empowers your prospect. Really is an empowering process. And once your prospect is empowered, then they're able to make an empowered decision. Because the truth is that when the number one reason why people say no to investing in their growth or to solve their problem, when the answer is presented to them, the solution is right there, is a lack of belief. Either they believe that they can't achieve it, like they don't believe they can achieve it, that they can do it, or they don't believe that you can help them. Either way, they're in a disempowered state. So they can't make an empowered decision without being in an empowered state. Also, a robust sales process enables you to feel really confident and in control instead of winging it. And you exude confidence. You enable the person you're speaking to experience feeling in the presence of somebody who is in control. So even in your energy, you're already standing in your power as a specialist because you have this process, and it's a strong, robust process. So it informs every part of your communication, from the words you say to your body language. And ultimately, I think, isn't it 93% of our communication is non-verbal? So this is very important that you feel confident, that you are in control and standing in your power for that reason. Another benefit is that with a robust sales process, the call is boundaried, thereby creating a safe space for your prospect. So they feel in this like container of confidentiality. They're in the presence, as I said, of an expert, a specialist who gets them, who understands them. And as well as this sort of energetic boundary, it also protects your time instead of just letting the conversation flow this way and that and just run on over time. And also it's not scripted, so you're not losing your authenticity, but rather it's an intentional and guided conversation that follows a clear process. Okay, so let's look at the process. This is the outline, and for it to be effective, give it time. You know, I see people who have discovery call bookings for 20 minutes, and I just think that's not long enough to really create this experience for your prospect, and it certainly doesn't honor the fact that your prospect is going to make a significant investment decision. Might be a no, it's still a decision, but they're looking to make a significant investment with you. So give them that time. My recommendation is a 45-minute time. That seems to be the optimum. Now, in that 45 minutes, I'm not saying this is really to stick to, but this is generally how it works. There are 3 distinct phases. The first part is establishing needs. Now, this is the longest part of the conversation. This is where you are fact-finding. You're asking questions. You're reflecting back what the prospect has said. You're expressing curiosity. You're being inquisitive. There's no judgment. There's no need to jump in and fix. You're simply holding a space and asking powerful, probing questions. So this is so important. You can imagine, unless you have all of this information through your probing and asking lots and lots of questions, it would be out of integrity to make an offer. Whereas with all of this information, it's like you're a doctor, you've gathered all of this information, you're able to create a really in integrity diagnosis and prescription. You're able to offer your signature solution at the end because you've absolutely got so clear on where they are, what they're struggling with, what they want, what they've tried, what's in their way, what's going on, you know, how they feel, all of that. So really take your time to understand your prospect. And I can tell you now, they will appreciate this. For many people, being on this kind of, the end of this kind of experience with a coach is the first time they felt so heard, so listened to, so understood, and in a space that is completely judgment free. Oh my goodness, that is so freaking powerful. So spend time establishing needs. The second stage is establishing expertise. Now, you have already positioned your authority through establishing needs, asking questions, taking notes, reflecting back. You know, what I've heard is this. You're not coaching them, but you're giving them experience of coaching. The second phase of establishing expertise is where you introduce the steps of your signature solution. You're not selling. You're not selling here. You're introducing the steps of your signature solution. You're not saying, this is my program. You're demonstrating your expertise by teaching, this is the path. This is what needs to happen in order for you to get the results you want. You've not mentioned working with you at this stage. You've not talked about your program. You've just highlighted that this is what needs to happen. This is the path that you must take in order to achieve those results. Okay, and then it's at the end of that where you've done a bit of teaching. You've said, I have many clients that come to me in the exact same situation, and this is what I've discovered is the path that you must take. And at the end of that second phase, you then introduce the program. You introduce your program. And so the third phase is establishing the professional relationship. This is where you discuss the deliverables of your coaching program, the level of commitment you require, and the investment. At this point, your expertise is undeniable. You've demonstrated throughout the whole call that you are the specialist, and so the invitation at the end becomes a no-brainer. And when I work with my clients on their sales process and take them through this, they literally go from struggling to close sales, feeling sleazy, feeling greedy and icky and all of those things, to literally loving sales and closing, getting more yeses with more ease and grace and integrity. So I'm just going to show you, you can see here, this week I've signed up 4 new clients from having 4 calls. This has never happened before. I also have 2 more calls booked in next week. My other client, she wants to buy the package. The self-belief I now have is incredible. I just expect people to say yes. I've just signed my first client for 3 months. I'm so happy. I got a yes from my first discovery call. And Sanae's methods are a different level. She shows you exactly what you need to do without feeling like a sleazy salesperson. I'm now selling 2K coaching programs and loving it. So I just really want to emphasize, when you are in control, you're holding a space within which people feel safe. People need to feel understood. They need to feel significant. They need to feel like they matter. People want to be seen and heard. So you're helping your prospect get to the heart of their problem in a way that is free from judgment. As I said earlier, it's safe to explore and gain clarity on the impact this is having on them and the other areas of their life. And you're giving them an experience of coaching without actually, my clients tell me that on their sales calls with me, they felt nurtured, they felt empowered, and it was an easy decision to invest with me. And when they themselves implement their own sales process, the difference is like night and day. They feel in control, they enjoy the conversation, they're not swayed if the prospect is talking about money worries, and most importantly, they're getting more clients, more people actually asking the question, this sounds great, how do I sign up? So the truth is, when you have a robust sales process, your prospect feels safe, like they're in good hands. They see the value and impact that working with you is going to have on their lives, whatever niche you're in, and ultimately they're excited to make the investment. So I want you to meet Irina. Irina is a career coach and strategist, and she was struggling to convert her leads into clients. And it was so disheartening because she knew these were the perfect clients for her signature solution. She said, I treated these calls like a chat, and I realized now I was trying too hard to be the expert. I was talking too much to try to prove myself, which was actually turning my clients away. It walked Irina through the sales process, and as soon as she implemented, she immediately saw a difference. She felt different, she owned the call, and she exuded this incredible confidence, and she signed a client on her very next call. And her business has gone from strength to strength. She's since onboarded and trained 2 team members, 2 salespeople in her business to conduct her sales calls with this sales process. And they are successfully and consistently enrolling clients for her into her 7K group program, which is incredible. So I hope you're feeling excited. I hope you're feeling inspired and enthused to follow through on everything you're learning here. So let's dive into the 5th shift. I know we've gone over time and I do apologize, but I hope you're getting so much value from what I'm teaching here. So the 5th shift is to invest in coaching. invest in coaching. I believe that everyone should have a coach because essentially, at its core, coaches and mentors bring two new things. They bring ideas and accountability. Now, I bet there are so many new ideas in your head right now that would not have been there if you didn't make time for this webinar. And I don't want you to go away feeling overwhelmed, but you can implement this when you have accountability and the support that a coach brings. So let's look at how it works just for a moment. So, you have your mindset. We talked about that in the first shift, that you have beliefs, you have ideas, you have knowledge, and the quality of your ideas all kind of create the results in your business. You have beliefs about what you're capable of. You have beliefs about what it takes to show up, what it takes to achieve your big goals, what is really possible for you. And the problem is that many of those ideas and many of those beliefs aren't serving you. And how do we know that? Well, remember again, shift number one, your results never lie. So if you're not getting the results that you want, then it's important to look at firstly, well, I need new ideas. I need to shift this mindset. I need to shift how I think. Then it's about looking at what you actually do through different training, changing what you're doing, changing the actions you're taking and doing things differently. You know the saying, to continue to do the same thing and expect a different result is the definition of insanity. So what it is you do then determines your outcomes, both in terms of happy clients and more income, but also in terms of your own happiness, your own sense of fun, feeling fulfilled in service and doing what you love. So if you want to change your outcomes, you've got to have that shift in mindset and you've got to change the actions that you're taking. And this really is the power of coaching. So let me ask you, how much did you earn last month? How happy are you in your business right now? And if you're not happy, you need to up level your thinking. You need to change the way you think, change your mindset. And you'll know as a coach yourself that we all have blind spots. So if you're operating within the paradigm and operating under the influence of these blind spots, it's going to be very difficult to create the transformation that you're seeking. So again, if you're not happy with the results from last month, from last year, you need to up level your thinking, change your mindset, and you need a new plan and you need accountability to help you pass your limiting beliefs, to guide you and to keep you on track. So you need a coach. And in all honesty, if you have dreams of building a lucrative business as a coach and it's something you've never done before, then it makes sense to get help from somebody who has walked that path already. Hiring a coach as a coach makes you a better coach. You get to clear the stuff that blocks you. You have an experience of how it feels to be coached, to be a client. And of course, you're operating with integrity. If you're not willing to invest in your own growth, how can you mirror that? How can you expect others to invest in their growth with you? So I've personally invested over £180,000 since I started my business to, and in coaching and to grow my business. And every time it was a scary decision. It was scary. It was a big decision and it was a stretch. And I'll be honest, not all of those coaching experiences were great, but every time I made the decision, I knew it was about my growth, my development, my learning. And I can tell you that every one of those investments paid off in some way or another, either directly or indirectly. And as a result, I'm a better coach, I'm a stronger business owner, and I have more to offer my clients because of every one of my investments. So this is my fifth sort of shift for you, is please don't go it alone. Go out there, find the right coach for you, make a discerning decision, spend what it takes to work with them. Because in all honesty, trying to grow your business through trial and error, trying to figure it all out alone, piecing together bits of DIY is the biggest waste of time there is. If you're trying to achieve something great, then find someone who has already done it and is already helping others do it, and spend what it takes to work with them, and you will reap the benefits. So I hope that is resonating. So today I promised that I was going to talk to you about how to establish authority and credibility and stand out as the go-to expert. I promised that I would talk to you about how to have perfect for you clients reaching out to you so you don't have to engage in all of the stuff that you hate doing or that costs you a lot of money and doesn't bring you any ROI. How to own your genius, to stand in your power and without feeling like an imposter and playing small due to the fear of being called out as a fraud. Today, I promised how to help you show up and have it feel effortless, fun, and energizing. Even if you're an introvert like me and you're terrified of doing video and live streaming right now, remember, aligning with your passion, creating that signature solution is a game changer. And with your signature solution, remember, this will help you to confidently command premium prices for your coaching packages, breaking free from the money for time model. So you can earn as much as 3,000, 5,000, 7,000 plus per client. Even if at the beginning of this webinar, they seemed like ridiculous numbers to you, I'm hoping that you can start to see that shift and experience the resonance that, oh my goodness, this really is possible for me. And at the end, remember, with this robust sales process, I wanted to share with you how to get more yeses on your sales calls instead of the soul crushing, I can't afford it, and I'll think about it, and then never hearing from them again. And how to finally feel like you belong, that you're running a serious business. And I wanted to share with you how to do all of this without fancy tech, paying expensive marketing agencies, launching and promoting new offers every month, or doing any of the icky cold sales tactics that you hate. So as a quick refresh again, a recap, what you need to win is shift one, taking radical responsibility. Remember, your business is a mirror. So everything you put out there energetically, mentally, emotionally will be reflected back to you. Shift two, remember, there's no such thing as a profitable niche because you are the profitable one. So name and claim your passion and specialize. Using the secret weapon, this is your signature solution, the way you help your clients get from their A to their B, so your pathway. And have a robust sales process. Don't wing it. Use the process that I taught you. Experience how it really is so powerful and how it will convert your prospects into paying clients so they're happy and you're operating from service and feeling fulfilled. And invest in coaching, get the help, don't waste time. You can fast track your results so incredibly, accelerate your results, get out there helping more people as the expert you are when you get the help to shortcut that journey. So thank you so much for listening to all of this. And now from hearing all of this, you have a choice. Now, you can either stay stuck with having a business in which you feel like you're struggling in pretty much the whole time. You can stay stuck attracting low-paying clients, the tire kickers, the time wasters, and feeling like you're marching on the spot and not making progress. You can continue to play small, allowing fear and your doubts to hold you back. And you can continue to compare yourself with all the other successful coaches, feeling like you're a million miles away, like you'll never get there, and wondering if you'll have to give it all up at some stage and go back and get a job. Or there is another way. And if you're done with all of that, and if you're ready to step up and get recognized for your expertise, have perfect for you clients reaching out to you, asking how they can work with you, get paid premium for your zone of genius, and start enjoying 5K, 10K plus months as a coach, and having all of that while enjoying more freedom to relax with your family, creating the lifestyle that you love, then I have something very special for you. I have opened up my calendar to speak with you personally. So it will be me, not some salesperson that you will speak to, but you speak to me personally about how you can apply these ideas to your business starting today. Whatever your biggest challenges are in the last 25 years plus of coaching, mentoring, training, and sales, plus my own experience on this entrepreneurial journey, I've seen it all and I know how to help you overcome it. So on this session, I will work with you to craft a step-by-step game plan to get you crystal clear in your message, to craft your signature solution so you can start hitting your income goals with more ease, get back in flow and have more fun. Remember that state of being unstoppable when you're aligned with your passion? That's really what I want for you. And the cost of this session, it's nothing. I am giving it away absolutely free. However, I want to make very, very clear here, this session is not for everyone. Okay, who is this session for? Well, you must have knowledge that solves a major life or business problem and that can command a premium price. You must be outstanding at what you do. And this is probably a big part of your frustration, right? If you're here and you've stayed with me to the end, you know you're freaking good at what you do, but you just feel like you're the best kept secret right now. So it's for you if you know you're outstanding at what you do. And you must be somebody who holds yourself to the highest standards of professionalism and integrity. And you must be coachable, not stuck and not willing to try something new. So if that's you, I invite you to book one of these life-changing sessions now. So I want to just share, you might be thinking, well, why are you doing this? Why would you give away your time for free? Well, this essence is I'm here because I know how it is to feel constantly stuck, tired, and broke. I have been there. And it kills me to see incredible women like you wasting their talent and struggling in a business that just isn't doing their gifts, their skills, their knowledge, just isn't doing them justice. Plus, I know that you may want some help to transform your business. And if so, if you want my help, we can discuss that as well and see if it's a good fit for both of us. If it's not, it's okay. That's okay too. It really doesn't matter. So please don't waste another moment. You can book your call here, sanaefloyd.com/apply expert. Now, spaces are very limited. They go very quickly. So please don't waste any time. Sign up today. If you're feeling that inspiration, take action right now. And I cannot wait to meet you. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you found this incredible and got a lot of value from it. You're feeling inspired, and I hope to speak to you very, very soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.